Hey, what's up, you guys? Woody Jacob here to bring you a Z Nation review. And this is my effort to actually do reviews for each new episode. Like I said, there are no real guarantees with this, though. Sometimes I just, get busy on a Friday. But I eventually do watch each episode, so what I'm going to try to at least do now is when I do watch them, at least get a review out at some point before the next one. So, I know this one's a little bit late, but I just checked out season 2, episode 11, which is entitled Corporate Retreat. And this is an episode I actually enjoyed quite a bit more than I was thinking I was going to. Because when I seen the previews, of course it's most likely it's like a one-off kind of thing with a new group and stuff like that. Yeah, there are characters that survive that we meet, but chances are we're probably never going to see them again. But this episode had a lot more going for it than I, kind of initially expected, I guess. I especially really like the opening. I just like the orange kind of lighting they were using, and with all the smoke and fog and stuff like that, I thought it looked really cool. Just a very stylized, cool sort of look to it, and I just really enjoyed that feel. It's a better, it's more unique zombie visual than what we've seen on The Walking Dead for a while. Not that The Walking Dead's not great, but sure, they can show us as many zombies as we want, but we've seen that time and time again. And, it's something about Z Nation that it does kind of have over The Walking Dead in a way. They have a smaller budget, but yeah, they're able to do more per episode than what The Walking Dead does in probably almost the whole season. So I guess Z Nation just really knows how to use their budget pretty well, because they have like a pretty heavy action in most episodes, and they're consistently entertaining, and I don't know. I still love The Walking Dead, but Z Nation's a different animal. Of course, you don't have to kill yourself comparing them either. You can enjoy them both for different reasons. Obviously, I've talked about that before. But I did really enjoy Corporate Retreat. I don't know the actor's name, but the actor who played the main head of the people that were surviving there, I thought he did a pretty good job. He had this talking stick basically. He was I forget exactly what he was, but I like the scene where he really pinned down everyone's mental state right now, what they're feeling, what they've gone through and stuff like that. How he said Vasquez, has scars on him, even though he's the enforcer. And then he said, people like 10K and Addy have experienced a lot of loss. 10K having his anger, and Addy, still being relied upon by Warren. Of course, he figured out that Warren is the leader pretty quickly. Of course, figuring out that Doc, despite everything, he still keeps a sense of humor. And, Murphy has the weight of the world on his shoulders, which he really does, Also, there's this, I can't remember the name, sorry, but there's this blonde lady who seemed to be, the second to him. It seemed like they were having kind of a love thing going on, but as it went on, it seemed like Addy and her were kind of building up to something, but it never actually happened. It was teased a lot, and I thought it was really funny when they said goodbye to her at the end, when Addy just got these awkward, looks and smirks from all the, pretty much the whole group. I thought that was kind of funny. And the majority of the episode revolved around the fact that Murphy had actually gotten shot. He just got hit in the shoulder though, so he was able to eventually survive and come out of it. And the other guy who was coming behind him, got hit in the heart. So Doc was, actually seeing that he could heal him, using Murphy's blood in various ways. And, of course, that's just kind of disgusting because he had the guy sucking on Murphy's thumb and stuff like that, or, having Murphy's blood on a rag and having the guy, have it in his mouth. But it seemed like the guy was coming around, he was sort of turning into something like Cassandra a little bit, except he seemed a little bit less intelligent, although he did point out the shooter at the end of the episode. So it really makes you wonder, about certain, how this virus works and what Murphy's blood exactly can do and stuff like that. So I thought that was, kind of interesting. Of course, the shooter ended up being it's a guy that didn't really get much screen time, but it turned out him and the blonde had actually been wrapped up in the whole affair together, and they were planning on taking all the food, or as much as they can, and just sort of abandoning ship basically. And there's also this guy called Iggy in the episode, someone whose name I actually do remember, who he had been sort of framed or sort of pointed at earlier as the one who was, stealing food and stuff like that because he had taken a few candy bars a few months prior, apparently. So he was banished, thought to have been killed, but when they didn't really show him, like, getting bitten and all that, I knew he was going to pop up again somehow. And he did at the end of the episode. He gave the corporate douche his comeuppance in a way. Even though the guy, that leader, didn't really seem too bad in this one. He didn't seem like overly evil and corrupt. But, you felt it was justified when Iggy came back and just, like, bashed his head in. So I thought that was good. He seemed to have a better, survival instinct about him. But then when the group was leaving, Iggy seemed to be back to his kind of goofy self. But, and they said they were going to head to the Grand Canyon, but our group knows that's not a good thing, but they didn't really say anything, so chances are this group isn't going to last too much longer. I would like to think that maybe Addy could run to that blonde again, because ever since Mac died, towards the beginning of the season, she hasn't had anything like that. Of course, Warren has her thing that's kind of building up with Vasquez, but who does Addy have? Some people think of, Addy in 10K, maybe, but, I think they're more of like an ally, brother and sister, if anything, type of thing. But I think Addy needs someone too. But I don't think we're going to see this blonde chick again. But I do think we'll get someone else for Addy at some point, but we'll see. Of course, when Murphy was shot, and Doc was trying to heal him and stop the bleeding and stuff like that, he was having these nightmares and sort of like jolting and sort of like, what's the word for it? Shaking and spazzing. I don't know how to... I don't know the term for it, sorry. It's on the tip of my tongue, but... then every time like a zombie would like hit against the window or something, and he'd jolt, and then he'd like start moaning these different words and stuff like that. So I feel like they're building up something bigger with Murphy for the end of the season. I just don't want him to die. I don't want them to like give someone else's blood and Murphy gets killed off or something like that, so they can still carry on the mission. But like Warren told him in another recent episode, that eventually there's going to come a time when he has to choose what he is, like once and for all, human or zombie. And I think that's going to really come into play at the end of the season. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts on the episode. I did, the group, again, it does get kind of boring sometimes when you meet these characters and you're never going to see them again after this episode. But I do think this is a pretty entertaining episode nonetheless. Of course, I liked, like I said, the whole lighting effect they had going on throughout the episode. I did find the group, conspiracy to be kind of interesting. And, with Murphy, I like the long, running story, the overarching story they're building with him, I should say. And, I just think it worked. It was probably one of the better one-off episodes they had, and it was probably one of the more decent or solid episodes this season. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know it wasn't too long, but, it's not a show we have to, like, overanalyze or anything like that either, and I do really enjoy Z Nation. And like I said, even if it's not, like, that night on time every week, I will try to get a review out eventually of each episode each week. So you can count on that, at least. And, yeah. So I'm on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, MoviePilot, link for me on Swallowed.com. Hope you guys didn't notice my hair. I mean, it doesn't look bad right now, but I actually haven't showered yet. So, yeah. You guys don't really need to know that too much information. Sorry about that. But yeah, peace.